Hi everyone. Today I'm going to record the acknowledgements and epilogue of my novel. First of all, I start with the acknowledgements. Reading this novel in front of camera for YouTube, the most important people I should thank, I should acknowledge them. They are my kids, three kids, one son and two daughters. I took the time and lots of time we left our 5 years daughter with the elder brother and sister, and they look after her, and while they were at home we used to make videos. And the second person to whom I have to thankful is my wife. She showed a lot of patience, and she made all these videos, and nearly we made 111 videos for this novel, including 101 chapters and 10 synopsis, including introduction and this synopsis as well. And she lots of time when we used to leave house, sometimes we used to have a little argument as the small argument between husband and wife, but our project never stopped. Lots of time I was reluctant to do recordings, and sometimes she was unwilling, but finally we used to say each other, let's go to make video. So we showed both of us great patience, and we were very much dedicated to this project, and we have decided that we will record 100 chapters, 100 episodes. So we did it. Even we did 101 and plus the synopsis. And I'm thankful to plants, birds, and the lake's water where I recorded all these videos, because with the help of these nature and plants and lake and these beautiful scenes, they help me to make my videos beautiful. And lastly, I would like to thank all those people who saw my video, even though seeing or hearing the novel, it's not very interesting thing. It's not a very in public, but it's not a film. It's not a something else, sports. But still, lots of people they saw it, and my belief is if watching this novel and these videos, if only one person is convinced and he believes that what I'm saying, for me that my job is done. Now I would like to record the epilogue. Epilogue is a when you write some novel in any language. Like there is introduction, there is a prologue, but when you finish the novel, there is sometime they write acknowledgements and epilogues. The life starts in this planet something like 10 million years BC, and then there was the period Paleolithic, Neolithic, and then there were Homo sapiens. Sapien is a Latin word. It's the word is sapere, and Homo sapiens when the man started learning things, because man used to walk in a different way, and then they started walking on two legs, and they became Homo sapiens. They learn how to make fire. They learn how to draw these things, and all these religions, these monotheistic religions, before there were multi people were multi-theist, and the polytheist, and then monotheistic religion they came, Islam, Judaism, Christianity. And it's right from the beginning, the human nature is that we want money, fame, and power. And all these wars, whatever we did in this world, it's only because of to have power. Like today, the world biggest power is America, and the whole European Union is the second biggest power. And people normally think that Russia is the second biggest power, or they are superpowers, but his GDP is on third position. And all these countries, they decided to earn money, they decided to make power. So they started this thing 500 years before, not now. First of all, I would like to start with the pharaohs. They were the first people who looked for the power, and they control people, and once they control the people, they made pyramids. And the story starts the power and money and fame. Not today. It's human instinct. Like we have animal instinct, we have human instinct. So they started having power and they made slaves and they made these pyramids. Without having slaves, it would have been impossible to make pyramids like that. And then the Greeks, they started coming in power. And everyone knows that the Aryans, they came from Central Asia and they conquered India. And they brought Hinduism in India. Before there were Dravidians, Malayalam, Canada, and other people were living here. This is like 2000 and 2500 years before Jesus Christ. And Aryans, they came from Mitannic tribe and they wanted to have the power as well. And they settled in India, and a new philosophy, new school of thought started in India. It's Hinduism. Then, respectively, the White Huns, Alexander the Great, Kushans, Kanishkas, all these people, the conquerors, the warriors, they came, they started invaded countries to have power. Before it was not, you never needed excuse to enter in some country, but now you need an excuse. And I would add, it's not the Muslims are very good people or they are excellent. When they had power, they did the same thing what the America is doing today. They invented an excuse to enter in India, so they sent Muhammad bin Qasim they invented a little small excuse that our ship was caught or robbed by Indians. And at the same time they invaded Spain. It's not because in a blink of eye they thought we invade Spain. It was decided before. They attacked many times before Spain, but finally when Count Julian said that now the situation is, because he was unhappy with the king, so they invaded Spain and they conquered Spain. They lived there for 800 years. It's a long time. So at that time, I'm talking about 711 AD, at that time they were in power. So they invaded. At that time they were right. Whatever they did, they were right. The might was right. In 1200 AD, the Genghis Khan and these people, they invaded Baghdad and they ransacked everything. And then they were finished. So it happens with different countries, with different reigns, with different kingdoms. It's not a new thing that today America is everywhere. You never know, maybe in the future South America or China or some other poor country, they will become superpower. We never know. And then I would like to add, when the Crusaders, they attacked Jerusalem, it was to have the power to conquer the economic trades, to discover the economic corridors. And finally they took these economic corridors from Muslims. It was not religion, it's economy. And after that, the Renaissance started in Europe, and they started colonizing different countries. Like one cannot even imagine that a Spanish conqueror, they went to South America and there were 350 or 500 people. They conquer whole South America in a blink of eye. And it's not, I'm telling you something which is very strange. These things are written in the books. And Crusades, then there were Spanish inquisitors. They, on the one side, they were telling in South America that if you stop believing these polytheism, we will kill you. But on the other hand, they were killing the people, the inquisitors, Spanish inquisitors, they were killing people for little reasons in Spain. So when you have power, whatever you do is right. And then I would like to talk about Janissaries. Janissaries, they took little kids. And Hassan bin Sabah, he used to train small little kids. And there are many examples. And I would like to add another example. When you invent excuse to take power, or you want to remove some people from your country. In England, United Kingdom of Great Britain, it's in 12th century AD. They found a little kid of 12 years old in a well, They found it, he was hanged. And suddenly, all of a sudden, they thought we should blame Jews for this. And all the Jews who were in United Kingdom of Great Britain, they were living in cities. They got expulsion from the cities, and they were out of city from the. In those days, there were walls around cities, so they were all the Jews. They used to live outside the walls, not in the cities. So there was a lot of discrimination started in 12th century against Jews. Then it's now they are doing same thing with the Muslims, and there are so many other examples. Even in Iran, once a lady, she killed a dog and she used the dog's blood, and they blamed her that she was Jew lady. So they said you insulted our religion. So they, in a blink of eye, they killed 80, 90 people. And with these small things, I'm giving you these examples because when Twin Towers was collapsed, this all of a sudden they blamed that Osama bin Laden is behind this. All the Muslims, they are terrorists. It was only an excuse. And in fact, they wanted to enter in Iraq. What they did, they entered in Afghanistan. And now they are having the fruit of their planning now, what they did, because economy is becoming weaker and weaker with the passage of time. So you never know, in another 5-10 years, maybe America or European Union or Russia, they will invent some new excuses to enter in other countries, like they did in Syria. There were two parties, because in Syria they find a blue petrol, which is very important for the jet planes and fighter planes. Even the king of Syria, he knows that he's from elite class, they are rich people. So they want that we should enjoy all these facilities and these luxurious life, not the poor one. So the people, there are two groups now. One is with the Russians, Turkey, and some other countries, and on the other hand, there are Americans, French, and they are on the other group. The strange thing is the ISIS, the Daesh group, they had the latest weapons, and it is very strange that all those weapons which they are using over there, they were given by these Americans. The dealers were Americans. So the difference is the European and French and American army, they are trained armies, but the Daesh, they are not trained. But who taught them how to use these things? The main goal is to have control on this petrol which is in Syria. And you never know, maybe in the future Iran or some other countries, because for me it's the war of petrol, it's the war of money, it's the war of having power. Right from the beginning, the human instinct which we are doing it, we invent little and small excuses. Before it was difficult to enter in some country, now we invent excuses and very concrete excuses to enter in some country, to conquer them, to have their power, to have their resources like minerals, like petrol, like diamond, like things like this. So I think that is enough. There are so many things I want to say, but I think this is more than enough. And this is the reason I wrote this whole novel. It's not a novel. I strongly believe in me that I have written a very beautiful novel, and I hope maybe someday someone will see it, or they would love to publish it, and even I can go for the Nobel Prize for that. And I am thankful to everyone. I hope you will enjoy this epilogue, and after this I'm thinking to do other projects. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience.